Yo, what is up guys, Voltex here. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the basics and how to use Zipcaster and some tips. Starting off, if you don't know what Zipcaster is the special where you turn into the superhero like Inkling or Octoling, allows you to grapple basically anywhere you want. Using it, once you activate it, it leaves a marker just like Inkjet. So I will recommend finding a safe spot before you activate it. Once using it, you can grapple to a wall while having your main weapon out, and it replaces your sub. Once you grapple to a wall, you can do quite a few things. One thing, if you just grapple to the wall, you can stick to the wall if you don't press anything else. You can also jump off the wall, and then you can also immediately go into squid or octo form once you make contact with the wall. Once using it too, you can also use your main weapon, which also consumes the gauge further. Also, while grappling to the wall does damage, and it paints the wall if the wall is paintable. The max damage for the splat, like the impact damage, is 95, which is a lot. Also, while you're grappling in the middle of the action, you are completely invincible to all damage. So that's actually really good. Zipcaster is good at getting places fast. Obviously, it's the name, because you can grapple to any like high wall and get into easily accessible areas, otherwise it'd be hard. You can get on top of the map if you want. It's mainly using for flanks depending on the weapon you have. So far from the beta, it was only on Luna Blaster and Octobrush, which are pretty two solid weapons for Zipcaster. I was using the Octobrush as in the clips you see in the gameplay in the background. Things to know during Zipcaster. Zipcaster, you can definitely die during it. Once you're splatting, it just immediately ends, just like how Inkjet is. So be careful of that, because since Zipcaster is about getting from place to place, how you use it is definitely going to matter. You can use it to get behind people in turf, but mainly you want to be using it to go on flank so you can get sneak attacks on your enemies. I would say a disadvantage of using Zipcaster is that you can basically be easily seen by opponents, since once you transform, you get like this suit that's glowing, so enemies can easily see you. And also, if enemies are aware, they can see you when you grapple in, because the visual effects from the splat. In this clip, we're going to be looking at a very basic example of how to use Zipcaster from when I was playing with some of my friends. Now this is going to be on Eeltail Valley. Now I had called out to them that I was about to use it, and then I went behind on the left side in the middle of the map. Once I activated it, first I grappled to the high wall on the outside, and then I grappled to the pole. I had seen a person drop down, but they had swam in front of me because they probably didn't see me. Anyways, then I had seen another person when I dropped down to the left, and then I killed them in return. Now that's a very basic example of using Zipcaster. You can basically grapple to point, and if you see somebody, just try to jump on them if they don't see you coming. If they do see you coming, you're gonna have to play careful, like try to like pressure them so they won't get to you. Once you get our hands on the actual game, like Zipcaster, learning Zipcaster is probably gonna be really fun and really skillful as well. Also, when using Zipcaster, like your first time using it or getting used to it, don't expect to get many kills. Obviously, try to, like, if you want to use it, try to use it as you can to mainly go on flanks. Zipcaster, you should basically be using to go on flanks like as often as you can, and try not to be seen as well. Like, Zipcaster is definitely gonna be very map dependent, and you learning the maps as well. Because for example, when I was playing on Mahi, I was maybe a lot of times I'll be playing on the left side by the water. I didn't pull this off myself, but what I've been thinking after matches, like, what if I grapple to like the far left side on the platform where it's like directly over water? I feel like that would be good, because a lot of enemies wouldn't be able to see me, but I never tried that. So things like that, you're gonna have to learn the map to get great use out of it as well. A tip for Zipcaster that I really cannot stress enough, even though if I have repeated it in the past during this video. If not, but I highly recommend try not to go directly in front of the enemy when using Zipcaster unless you have a plan. Like if you just grapple in front of 4 people, then that's obviously not a good idea. So I definitely recommend try not to do it. You can maybe do it in like on one person. If you see somebody, you can grapple towards them, especially because the grapple is so fast and during it it's invincible. But it depends on the weapon too. Like I was using Octobrush. Octobrush can probably do that in front of a lot of people because of how it works, and it can relatively kill fast if you're close enough. So yeah, so Octobrush you can probably grapple directly in front of someone and maybe get the kill. But if you want to grapple in front of someone, it has to be like high above them, because that's why I did a lot. I grappled high above people and dropped on them, and a lot of the time they really didn't see me coming first, so I had like the first shot on them a lot of the time. And now the only gear I recommend for using Zipcaster is special power, because special power mainly only increases the time, but that's really good for it, because the more time you have on Zipcaster, the better it is. So if you plan on using Zipcaster when the game fully releases, I definitely recommend putting special power up. Like in the demo, I only had 1 main on it, but that's actually really good too. 1 main is actually a noticeable difference. It can last you way longer and get further. Closing thoughts. I think Zipcaster is a really well designed special. Probably as the game's lifespan goes on, it may get worse due to people getting better, but I don't think it will be that bad of a difference. Like it won't be to the point where if you try to use it you'll get shut down every single time. But no, because that aspect of flanking is still there. Maybe people are not seeing you, but overall I think it's a really good and extremely fun special. I definitely recommend using it or trying it out. It is really fun. Thank you so much for watching this 101 basic analysis video on Zipcaster for Splatoon 3. I'll definitely be doing more like videos like these where I explain different things and different specials of the game. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.